Your website can be copied, your pricing can be beaten. So how do you become uncopyable? Because when you do, competition becomes irrelevant. And that's exactly what we're talking about in today's episode.
Welcome to the Business of Hearing podcast, the #1 marketing and practice growth podcast for high-performing private practice hearing care leaders. My name's Ollie Luke. Pull up a chair, pour yourself a drink, and let's have a chat.
So welcome along to another episode of the Business of Hearing podcast, and bear with me for this. If we fundamentally look at the job market, it breaks into 3 categories. And this is job market for me, you, anybody. There's the people who get paid for what they do. There's the people that get paid for what they know. And there's people who get paid for who they are. The people that get paid for what they do. Let's break this down. This is the cashier at the supermarket. This is the person who's collecting your trash. This is the person who is making your coffee. Whatever it is, they're following a function. They're following a process. They're using their hands and human knowledge in order to follow that process and achieve a certain purpose. You then get the people who get paid for what they know. Dare I say, this is you and me. We get paid for what we've learned, our expertise, how we help people navigate and solve challenges, and the skill set that we have. Most people that walk away from college in order to serve a function in society, this is who we are. And then you get the people at the top who get paid for who they are. Let's take Kim Kardashian. She got paid for what she did at one time. I shouldn't say any more about that. But she gets paid for who she is now. No matter what happens, she's not getting paid for the skills that she has. She's not getting paid for what she knows. She's getting paid for the fact that she is Kim Kardashian. And the reason this is important is because if we look at artificial intelligence right now and the headlines that we're seeing across the world of jobs being replaced, job market changing, universal income, it fundamentally falls into this same kind of pyramid. The large majority of the jobs that exist are people who got paid for what they do. They're the ones that right now we're seeing impacted heavily. Jobs being lost, IBM replacing tens of thousands of employees. It's happening very, very heavy across the board because a repeatable process, now they're realizing an AI agent can come in and go, okay, the job is to pick up this data, carry it over here, put it in this form, but they need to check this, this, and this, and then ticket as done. AI agent does the same job, company saves money, and all of a sudden we're seeing big challenges and the job market being squeezed tight. What that's going to do over the next few years as AI becomes more and more sophisticated is we're going to see that come up a bracket. People like you and people like me are going to be caught in a more challenging situation when AI can think like us, be better than us, know more than us about the expertise that we have. And it will happen, I promise you. We're going to be challenged, right? And I don't know if you've ever used AI as your doctor for a health challenge. I don't know if you've ever used it as a attorney, as a solicitor, whatever it may be, to get legal advice, accountancy advice, tax advice. It's pretty damn good. And dare I say, it's probably as good as some people in that field. It's not 100% there, but it's pretty good, and it's going to get better and better and better and have a bigger wealth of knowledge and knowledge about you as an individual who's doing the searching to give recommendations than most humans could. So we've got to keep an eye out for that. So what does this mean? Well, it means we point a little higher in that pyramid. The people that get paid for who they are, they're the ones that I think are untouchable by AI for a long time. Which means that if we just break this down and pull it back, what is our job right now if we really want to future-proof? We need to be better known in our communities for who we are, not specifically what we know, not specifically for what we do, but who we are. And who we are is somebody who cares greatly about the hearing healthcare of the community and is an advocate that everyone around needs to test their hearing more regularly. If you become known as that, then what you do isn't as important, right? Regardless of if a robot's rocking in and testing people's hearing, as long as you're the voice and face with humans trusting humans, you're good. It's not what you do, it's not what you know, it's who you are. So that is an area that I'd be giving big focus to right now, of how you double down in those areas. Now, I've got on a tangent there because fundamentally what I want to talk about is how you can become uncopyable. And the only way that you can become uncopyable is about understanding how you can double down on your moat. Now, historically, focus of business is grow the boat. In an AI world right now with everything that's going on, I'd be also giving big attention to, we're growing the boat, how do we grow the moat? How do we widen the gap between who we are and who everyone else is? How do we have our defensible differences stacked up as strong as possible? And I want to share 3 that I'd be giving big consideration to right now if I was in your shoes in order to grow that moat significantly. And here's the first one. First one would be personal brand. And we just spoke about this. Like, I'd be looking, how do you double down how well you're known for the expertise that you have and who you are in that community? Now, this is going to help marketing. It's going to help everything. But like, this is no longer a nice to have. Can you make this a non-negotiable? Can you be out in the community? Can you have your face out there? Can you speak in more places? Can you put your opinions out? Can you be more present on local Facebook groups, whatever it may be? Like, how do we grow your personal brand? It could be that you start doing a podcast like me. Like, dare I say, look what I'm trying to do here. This isn't me getting paid for what I do. It's not me getting paid for what I know. I'm trying to get paid for who I am. And that's going to be a fundamental part of the future. This is strategically done, right? And is it worth you doing the same? And it doesn't have to be super high level like this. It doesn't have to be a video show. It could be audio. It could be a bit on social media, doing more video. But how do you double down on personal brand, putting yourself out there a little more? Because if you're going to get paid for who you are, people are going to need to know who you are. So that would be the starting point. If you're looking to grow a moat and you already have good local reputation, how do you double down in that? Second moat I'd be giving consideration to is the expertise moat. The challenge we have, I think, as an industry is the average person, the average Joe Blogs on the street that looks at what we do, we all kind of look the same. We all say we solve the same challenge. We all have slightly different ways that we do it, but same challenge. Costco say they help people to achieve better hearing through hearing aids. You say you help people to achieve better hearing through hearing care plus hearing aids. The more we can actually break that down, the better. Can no longer just say we do it, break it down. Like, very specific on how you do. What is the 21-step testing process, what you have? What is the 64 steps that somebody walks through between day dot and month 48 on their better hearing journey? Can you do the work in order to create a unique methodology that is uniquely yours? It's yours, it's uncopyable, it's almost your IP. And when patient looks and sees you do that and they do that, it's a defensible difference. It's a big moat that you can double down on. And then the third is reputation. Now, you see, we all like to think we've got good, solid reputation. Like, people know us, people like us. But the goal here is, how do we become locally iconic? Not just well-known. How do we become the practices on the tip of everybody's tongue when hearing health, hearing aids, hearing care, hearing loss, tinnitus, whatever it may be, comes up in conversation? And once again, some of these are like marketing nice to haves. My encouragement to you is to turn nice to haves into necessaries. And if I was focusing on how I become locally iconic right now, how do I ensure that every potential referral partner in the community knows us, likes us, trusts us? How do we ensure that anybody who's anybody knows that if hearing health comes up in conversation, our name needs to follow? And there's ways you can do it. You can spend your way there. You can advertise your way there. You can schmooze your way there. But what I'd be doing right now is, how do we focus on leaning into the community as heavy as possible? And great strategy for this, our Inner Circle members rolled this out earlier this year, is invite some of your patients and do it through your email newsletter, email database, to nominate their favorite local businesses. Get them to give you a list. You may have 20, 30, 40 local businesses that they believe deserve recognition. Visit each and every single one of them with a certificate to say, hey, you've been nominated by our patients as one of the most loved local businesses in insert location. What will they do? If the certificates are nice quality and framed, that's being hung up. They're proud to have that. That's going to be hung up in their office, hung up in their shop, hung up in their store, whatever it may be, which gives you a few things. Number one is, they'll all of a sudden now know you. Your patients nominated them. They've got something with your logo hung up. They're going to become very familiar with you. And given that the topic of hearing healthcare doesn't come up in an hourly conversation or every single day, when it does come up, there's going to be one name in their mind. That's going to trigger conversations in itself. Like, you are going to become well known in all of those offices, those locations, those shops, those stores, etc. And it also shows your patients that you really give a crap about the local community. So it's got a 2 + 2 = 5 situation. But looking at, how do we spotlight local businesses? How do we show love on others? How do we become better known? And really, if you do that well, number 3 ties to number 1, right? Looking at growing your personal brand, looking at growing how well you're known in your community. Do that with a little bit of local love, 2 + 2 = 5 in that situation. So I'd be doubling down in those areas. If the goal is grow the moat, look at those defensible differences. How do you grow how many people know who you are? How do you have a unique methodology that is uniquely yours and very difficult to copy and creates a big point of difference? And then how do you really become well known by other local businesses, grow relationships and very much grow reputation? But in a market right now where job market is being impacted and expertise is being chased by AI. And if we really play this out in the worst case scenario, like our expertise, my expertise, your expertise is going to be a lot less valuable in several years than it is today. How do we put ourselves up a layer, grow that moat as wide as possible? And they're the 3 areas that I'd be giving consideration to. The beauty of that is this isn't just future-proofing your practice by going, if these AI situations occur, we're good. This is stuff that's going to help you today. More local businesses knowing and referring to you, more people in the community knowing you as the person for hearing healthcare, unique methodology that makes you difficult to compete with, and as patients appreciating you more, being able to charge more because you've got clearly doing a lot more. Like all of that stuff is very valuable today and far into the future. So I'd be giving focus on that. Hopefully that's helpful. And as always, if you ever need any help with any of this, then we're always looking for wonderful practices who want to tell their story better, grow their iconic reputation, grow recognition, reputation, and revenues. And if that is of interest, drop us a message. Find us orange-grey.com, apply for a place, and we'll have a conversation from there. But appreciate your time greatly. And I'll be back again next week with another episode. Speak to you then.
And there we have it. Another episode has come to an end. And I have a quick favour to ask. If you have found this helpful, then who do you know who should listen to this podcast? I strongly believe a rising tide lifts all boats, and right now, private practice needs to stick together to fight these big, gormless groups and these manufacturer-owned Goliaths that are looking to take market share from us. Consider who should be listening, pass on the word about the Business of Hearing podcast, and I'll see you again next week.